Assalamualaikum and hi all. Okay, so now we are on week 5. So I do really hope that you don't miss even one videos of my sharing. So otherwise you will miss some of the important knowledge on maybe the important points, so that for my next video, so you cannot follow very well. Okay, so just before we continue, we go to the new chapter. So I just want to review. Okay, where are we now? So now based on the course information that I uploaded on the first week, hopefully you have read on it. Okay, so now we are in week 5. Okay, so we should now start with the chapter 3, which is double integral or multiple integral. So we start with the double integral. So what we have done so far, we have a chapter 1, which is about the introduction of the multivariable function. So from there, you know how to sketch some graph that it can be sketched by hand, and you know how to, what is the level curve mean, traces, you know what is tetrahedron, hyperboloid, right? And now you know how to determine the domain and range, how to sketch the domain, how can you relate with the domain, range, and the graph of the multivariable function. Okay, so that is the first chapter. So now the next is chapter 2, which is about the differentiation of the multivariable function. Okay, maybe some of you don't really understand the relationship between the, in terms of graphical representation for the differentiation and the graph of 3D. So as I mentioned, I think I already mentioned that if you differentiate that two variable functions, so one of the things that you can elaborate what is the physical meaning on it is actually you are finding the slope. Okay, the slope on that specific surface, and also at the specific point. And you can also say that if you do the partial derivative for order 1, so you also finding the rate of change of that particular function. Okay, and you already we already done some applications, so you know how to determine the critical point and what is the behavior of that particular point. It can be saddle, it can be maximum point, or it can be minimum point, and by using some condition. Okay, so hopefully you know that. Okay, so about the differentiation technique is the thing that you have done before this, before you came to the UTM. I mean, from your first year, you have done the method, engineering math 1, sorry. You already applied some of the differentiation technique for single variable functions. So now for this particular course, you will apply all that technique again, but specifically on the 2 and 3 variable functions. Okay, so after you know how to differentiate, so you should know how to integrate. Okay, because we know that the antiderivative, which is we call that as integration. So in terms of the technique of integration, so you have to apply them again. So what is the example of the different integration technique? Substitution method. What else? It can be some other techniques, right? But meaning that you will use them again in this particular course. Okay, so this is my display on the e-learning. So I just want to stress out some important thing here. So this is about your group assignment. So some of you have give a response, so that's very good. So you have to obtain the quiz too. So your mark will be recorded. Okay, will be part of the assessment. Now we have I give you another using the quiz is. So you are given 10 questions. So this one is some question which are related to the partial derivatives. Okay, so hopefully you get fun while doing this quiz. Some need to do some calculation. Some question need some calculations, but I also provide you a very quick question. Okay, and I can see that some of you already done that. So some of you got full mark and some of you just got 9 out of 10 and some of you, but remember I give you 2 attempts. You can try. Okay, you can first try, and then after that if you already got 10, so it's okay, but maybe some of you just got 1 out of 10, so you have to just do the revision and try it again for the second time. Okay, so for this week we will start with the new topic, which is the chapter 3. So I will introduce you some of the how can you deal with the multiple integrals. So we call that multiple because you have to no longer single integration, just you integrate once, but you have to integrate twice and maybe for the third time. Okay, just like what you have done for differentiation. So because you have 2 variables, for example, then you can you need to maybe sometimes a question asking for the second order in respect to x and after respect to y. So who is the first and who is the second, and can be mixed, and same goes for the double integral. You have to do the integration process partly, okay, part by part, respect to x first or respect to y first or vice versa. Okay. Okay, I also want to remind you about our test 1 will be on where is it? Okay, so for 25th of November. So the time will be at night time. So I hope for those who are outside Malaysia, so hopefully the time is okay for you. As far as I concerned, just maybe for Indonesian we just have 1 hour difference, right? So I don't think but it's if we start at 8, then at your country it should be 7. Hopefully you have to manage the time very well. Okay, and also there is another student from Saudi Arabia, so hopefully that time also suit with you. Okay, that is about the test 1. So the test 1 will be through the e-learning, or I will update later about the how can I we run the test 1, but normally using the e-learning. Hopefully the line is okay on that day. Okay, all right, so that about test 1. And okay, about the exercises, I give you the tutorial 1 before this. Yeah, tutorial 1, then hopefully you can do that, because all the answers are given if you're not mistaken. And also I give you the partial test. So where is it? Partial test, hopefully I can, okay, this one. So I give you a folder which is a partial test 1. So you can see there are very many questions. Okay, then you have to try, but unfortunately I cannot give you the answer. Okay, but if you want to just to make sure that you do something correctly, so after you then just update to me, then I can check for you. Okay. And that is for the partial test. Okay, I'll also give you the recent test 1, which is last semester, and also last year. Okay, the question for the partial for the last year and the last semester. So please spend some time to answer that question so that you have you can feel how complicated or how easy the test is, because I'm afraid that some of you will think that question is quite very complicated, and when I give you not so complicated, just so question, so you cannot answer because of you just very panic. Okay, that's why you have to just try and read. Yeah, try out the, you cannot, for maths you cannot read, you have to try by yourself, you have to just write by using hand, and then then you can feel it. Okay, that is mathematics, you cannot just read maths, right? So that is just the thing that I want to share before I give you I'll start with the new topic. Okay.